I'm starting to do these backstory videos live just to save some storage space on my phone, and they're gonna end up on YouTube eventually anyway, even if I just record it. So yeah, we're just going to go straight to live this time. um but yeah, so if you don't get to jump in live, you can go ahead and watch the replay later. I'm gonna try to get it set up to watch, so you can watch the replay fairly soon after I am finished. But yeah, we're just going to jump into it. As you can see from the title, we are doing the backstory to Little Is Much When God Is in It. And this is a fun hymn. It was written in the 1900s, so it's fairly newer. But we sing it a lot at my church, and in fact, we sang it this morning actually. Totally not planned for me anyway. I had already decided on Little as Much before Sunday school started, and then we sang it in the morning service, and I'm like, okay, that's what we're doing. And I call him my church big brother. He the, since I'm so short, I'm not even 5 foot tall. Um, he has designated this song for me. So I thought that was pretty neat. So thank you for that, Brother Mark. So, like I said, this hymn was written in the 1900s, 1924 to be exact. Um, and some of the circumstances are pretty interesting. Um, a, a Canadian man, Fred Suffield, I don't know. Um, he he was awakened one night. It was a snowy night, like there was a blizzard. To pounding on his door, and like it wasn't just like, whoop, it was more like, let me in now. Um, so he's like, okay, fine, I'm gonna get up, see what this guy wants. So he does that. He opens the door to see a half frozen man who said that the train had stalled, had wrecked, or something in the blizzard, and that the passengers on the train were in danger of freezing to death. So, Mr. Fred Suffield, he follows the man to the site of the train wreck or train stall, and there he invites all of the passengers to come into his home, all that would fit. One of the passengers, named Kitty Louise, she later wrote Mr. Fred a thank you note, which led to a correspondence and then an eventual courtship between the two. Um, Courtship, and after the courtship, of course, marriage. So all because Mr. Fred had the compassion and willingness to let people into his home. Um, Sometime later, Mr. Fred and Miss Kitty were attending a church in Ottawa, who was pastored by Reverend A.J. Shea, and that's when they gave their lives to the Lord. That's when they were saved. Um, and the couple grew in Christ over the years, and then they gave their lives to full-time evangelism. One summer, they invited Reverend Shea's teenage son, George Beverly, to spend a month with them in Ontario. In Ontario, while they were holding evangelistic meetings. He George Beverly was a good singer, um, but teenagers, their voices are still kind of developing. So, as he was singing a song accompanied by Kitty on the piano, his voice cracked on a high note, and he immediately sat down, extremely mortified and embarrassed. Which, I mean, I applaud him for going up and singing a solo. That's something I would never do. Like, I don't do solos. I can do choirs, that's about it. But I know with me making a mistake on the piano, it's embarrassing. Even if no one notices, I still notice and I know my mistakes. And my teacher does too. So there's that. um, After he sat down, he told Kitty that he would never sing again. Like, he made a vow to himself. But Miss Kitty would never hear of that. So she just suggested that he sing in a lower key that fit his voice better. So he begrudgingly took her up on her suggestion and found the right keys for him, the right voice, and he continued singing and singing and singing. So many years passed. And in June, it says in June 2000, Billy Graham came to Nashville, Tennessee, on a 4-night for 4 nights, doing one of his, I guess, crusades. Is that what they call it? I'm not too sure. So I mean, I've heard of Billy Graham, of course, but I don't know what he calls his evangelistic meetings. But the author of this book, Then Sings My Soul, Robert J. Morgan, he says that he and his wife had the privilege to attend the reception for the Graham team before the meetings began. And George Beverly, Reverend Shea's son, remember Reverend Shea was Fred and Kitty's pastor, he rose to sing. George Beverly was about 92 in 2000, and he rose to sing. And the song he sang was Little Is Much When God Is in It, which was written 73 years before by Fred and Kitty Suffield. And I just love this hymn, Little Is Much, because it just shows you, or it reminds you rather, that, you know, the place you're in may be small. You know, it may not seem like you can do much, but if you put it into God's hands, put whatever you think is small, your workplace, your finances, your family, your home, whatever, if you place it into God's hands, He can make a lot out of it. You know, a tiny seed can produce a big oak tree. One tree can produce a forest by just starting with that little seed. So I just love this song. I love the reminder of it. Now we know the backstory to it. So I'm going to try to play this. Oh, and before I forget, once again, all of my information comes from Then Sings My Soul by Robert J. Morgan, published by Thomas Nelson. All of the copyright goes to them. I only own my summary of the article that I read, and I own my playing. Everything else for today's video goes to Robert J. Morgan, Thomas Nelson, and the Suffields. So I think Little Is Much is still on copyright. I don't know copyright laws. I can't remember because I went over them in college. All right, then here we go. So there's our video for today. A little bit of a shorter one, but that's all right. So I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday or whatever day you end up watching this. Have a good week, and I will see you next time. Bye.